Hey guys, welcome back. So last night, at a time that was just way too late for your boy to start working, 343 decided to drop probably the biggest Inside Infinite article yet that covers everything from BTB to Academy to Progression and XP, and of course, Flight 2 details. There is so much in here, so let's begin. So let's start right from the top and look at the Flight 2 details. So, flight number 2 for Halo Infinite isn't just a single flight, it's a double whammy. It's happening on 2 weekends, the first of which being this upcoming weekend, September 23rd to 26th, and then also the weekend after, September 30th to October 3rd. Now, this upcoming weekend is going to be Arena 4v4 with matchmaking, and the second weekend is going to be Big Team Battle. And of course, I just so happen to be away on October 1st and October 2nd, so I'm not going to be able to play and stream BTB until the Sunday, but I'm sure it's going to be worth the wait. Either way, I'm really excited for this flight. A double whammy is really cool. It's going to definitely help alleviate some of those post-flight blues that a lot of us felt last time, so I'm looking forward to it. Make sure you check your emails because I actually got my invite last night, right as this article went out, so they're definitely making a conscious effort to send the invites out a lot earlier this time, so don't miss your invites. Check your junk folder, check spam, check every single folder you've got. Don't be one of those unlucky people that only finds their invite at the end of the weekend. So the goal for Flight 2 is to test online services at a larger scale than ever before, and as such, anybody who had a fully set up insider profile as of September 13th will be invited. And then also a secondary goal is that they want to receive feedback about the content in the flight and to also find additional bugs in said content, which you can submit if you find them via the Halo support site. As for the content in Flight 2, everything that was in Flight number 1 will be in Flight number 2, along with, of course, additional content and experiences that go as follows. There will be Social Arena with objective modes this time, and a new map that comes out on Sunday the 26th of September. There's going to be Bot Arena, also with objective modes. There's going to be Big Team Battle from September 30th to October 3rd on Fragmentation, which I assume is a map, with 3 modes. Now, these modes are presumably going to be Slayer, CTF, and a new mode they mentioned in the article called Total Control. There's going to be the new Training mode, Weapon Drills, Customization, Battle Pass, and the new Halo Waypoint app and web experiences. However, there is one small caveat that's going to be a bit of an issue for people like me in Europe or Australians or anywhere else in the world that isn't North America. So, matchmaking is only going to be available for set time periods during each day, and those time periods are 10 AM to 2 PM Pacific, and 5 PM from 9 PM Pacific on the Friday, the Saturday, and the Sunday of both the flights, which isn't great. Those timeframes kind of suck for anybody who's not in North America, so I really hope in the future with stuff like this, 343 are more conscious of international time zones, because, I mean, there are going to be loads of people who want to help stress test and test the game in other regions that just can't do that because the tests are happening at absurd times in their time zone. So in the future, if we could maybe get some more European and Australian friendly times as well as the American times, that'd be great. I get that, of course, 343 are based in Seattle, but just a maybe one time slot that's meant for international time zones would be great. Then they said that the blog that we're reading right now, that we're making a video about right now, isn't all that we're getting. So tomorrow, on Wednesday, they're going to be doing a live stream and also giving us a dev blog outlining all the details about the tech previews, which, of course, your boy is going to be streaming right here on the channel, so make sure you subscribe. In fact, you know what? I should have said that earlier. We're we're less than 1,000 subs away from 500,000, dude. Come on, hit that sub button. Be here for all the Halo Infinite content. You know you want to. Okay, so moving on to Big Team Battle. They outlined the design pillars for Big Team Battle in Halo Infinite. The first of which is to embrace the Spartan battle fantasy. Players need to feel like a Spartan unit pushing through the battlefield and conquering objectives as a team, which is why they invested in things like Pelican drops and Commander Mode VO, which is, I'm assuming, the commander giving you voiceover, weapon pods that drop in the sky, and more dynamic elements. They want to make it feel like an active battle in the Halo universe, and also the maps are kind of a natural extension of that vibe. The second pillar is to empower player types to thrive. Now, by this they mean they want to encourage all types of players to feel like heroes in a match, so whether you've got a god shot with a BR, or whether you're a really good Warthog driver, or you're a great pilot or an objective player, whatever, they want all players to feel empowered. And the third pillar was to unleash the Halo Infinite sandbox. This one kind of goes without saying, but Big Team Battle is more than just the player count or the map size, it's also the number of options at a player's disposal. And of course, the sandbox plays into that. When it came to designing Infinite's new BTB experience, they said that they didn't want to try and fix what wasn't broken in classic BTB experiences, and they said that the mode itself feels like classic and modern simultaneously. One of the changes they did make was updating mode rules and balance to accommodate for the increased 12v12 player count and also the new maps that go with that. They said that equipment works mostly the same in Big Team Battle, however there is one change. Generally speaking, the equipment has more uses, with the max use being 5. Now, of course, that's because they want people to really go crazy with the equipment in the expanded kind of sandbox and player space of BTB, which I think is a good move, because the more that I can grapple, the better. They gave us a tease about something, saying that one map has, and I quote, new ways for players to get a cache of power by interacting with the map in a whole new way with their personal AI. Now, I've no idea what this is, but honestly, that sounds really, really cool. I love map interactability when you can actually interact with things in the map to change the layout or change, like, for example, shooting things from the sky, like shooting the stalactites from waterworks, for example. Stuff like that is really good, and when that interacts with your AI and gives your AI a reason to exist beyond just giving you sometimes cool, sometimes a bit annoying voiceover, then that sounds like a really great feature to me. I'm looking forward to seeing what that is. On the topic of vehicle pelican drops, they said that they start out with kind of standard vehicles, but as a match goes on, they start dropping off air vehicles and even more powerful vehicles as well, like tanks, so it's kind of like a natural progression throughout the game. They said that BTB maps have wildlife that scurry around when you drive past it, which is very in keeping with what we saw from the campaign. Now, this wasn't specifically a part of the BTB section, but I just threw it in here anyway for, I don't know, consistency's sake. They talked a little bit about the weapon racks that spawn weapons now, and they said that they were added basically to help support the live service system. So what it does is it allows them to inject new content, so new weapons, for example, that are added down the line into existing maps and modes easily without completely changing them. That was an issue with Halo 5, where when a new weapon came out, it was only ever really on the new map. All the old maps were just like as they were when they released. So this is a good idea to kind of help them keep the maps and the experiences on those maps fresh as new content gets added. And again, another thing that I want to talk about now, again, it's not entirely to do with BTB, but I thought I'd just throw it in the section anyway to keep the video nice and neat and well organized. They gave us quite a few new pictures of the game, and let's just break a few of them down. So they gave us 2 shots, one I think concept art and the other definitely concept art of Behemoth, and I'm gonna be honest, right, this map looks absolutely incredible. I am getting some extreme Halo 3 vibes from both these pieces of art. Oh, I can't wait to try this map out. It looks absolutely beautiful. Then we have our first look at the shock rifle, which once again looks absolutely beautiful. It looks to me like they've kind of taken the blade, the blade bayonet type of thing from the brute shot, and also the general design of the brute shot, almost lower receiver area, and strapped it to like a Tesla coil or something. This thing looks really, really cool. And then we also have some shots of the flags as well, which also I think look pretty cool. The way they're kind of like holographic reminds me of in Halo 2, remember the Brute Captains had those red holographic flags on them? It kind of looks like that sort of thing, but for these flags. And I also as well love that they've gone back to the Cobra and the Eagle design from Combat Evolved in Halo 2. I'm pretty sure that disappeared in Halo 3 onwards, so it's cool to see them going back to that very classic design of flags. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they're just flags, right? But I think they look pretty cool. Okay, so moving on to the next section, we're going to look at the progression, the challenges, the customization, and the other stuff in that kind of region that they talked about in this article. And I'm not going to lie, I think some of this is going to be a bit contentious. There's definitely some stuff in here that I'm not a fan of, and I imagine that there's a lot of stuff in here that other people aren't going to be a fan of as well, but let's just dive into it. So they start off by saying that at launch, the Battle Pass is the one and only progression system in Halo Infinite. It has, just like any other battle pass in existence, both free and premium unlockable tiers, and these tiers include helmets, visors, armor coatings, etc., as well as consumables like XP boosts and challenge swaps. Now, the only way to progress through these tiers is by earning XP via challenge completion. That is the only way. And as well, each tier requires the same amount of XP to progress through, so going from tier 1 to tier 2 requires the same amount of XP as going from tier 49 to 50. Now, in addition to the regular battle pass, they're also going to be doing special limited time event passes. Now, these are free, entirely free, special passes that are only available during specified event periods. They include a separate progression track to the regular battle pass, with separate rewards that are often tied to a unique armor core for that given event. And these events will be available from 1 to multiple weeks. So they said that the marquee event for Season 1 in Halo Infinite, the Fractures Tenrai, is how you're going to get the Yoroi armor core. Now, this is where it gets a bit weird, and I don't fully understand why they're doing this. So this event, and presumably its event pass as well, is only available for roughly, they say approximately 1 week per month during Season 1, and will come and go throughout the season. So each time a Fracture returns, your progress carries over, and the Fractures passes, by the sounds of it as well, only have 20 tiers, so they're shorter than a regular pass. Now, I'm not gonna lie, like, approximately 1 week per month? I don't know what that's weird phrasing, I think. This seems kind of unnecessarily confusing. Maybe one of those things where it's hard to explain in text form, but when you see it in game, it makes perfect sense. It could be that, but going off what I'm reading in this article, it seems pretty confusing. And then the big one. They've said that they've heard our complaints about no match XP that feeds into the battle pass, and also our complaints that there's no actual progression system at all in this game, and their response is, and I quote, "Expanding multiplayer progression offerings is something the team is actively exploring, and we look forward to continuing to evolve the experience in future seasons post-launch." I'm not gonna lie, that is a very generic, pretty bland response, honestly. Like, it's like, oh, we've heard your complaints, maybe we'll do something in the future. Honestly, it still blows my mind that this game isn't launching with something as rudimentary and core to almost every video game since like Halo 3 and COD 4 that is a progression system. It's one of those things that I didn't even think twice about. It's like, oh yeah, I mean, like I said, every single game since like Halo 3 and COD 4 came out in 2007 has had a progression system. It's just one of those things that, like, I swear, even like loads of single player games have them now. It's just something that just is there, that's a great feature, that everyone loves, that gives people a reason to come back and play the game, and I can't believe it's not there. Anyway, they then moved on to talk about challenges, and they said that challenges are both daily and weekly, and are designed to be straightforward and to never directly conflict with the objective of a match, which is good because one of the issues with challenges is like it forces people to play in a specific way regardless of the objective, and of course sometimes that can directly contrast with the objective they're meant to be fulfilling, so that's good to hear. So, weekly challenges are more directed and specific and, of course, offer more XP than daily challenges. What happens is each week, players are assigned 20 random weekly challenges out of a pool of several hundred, of which are tiered from easier weeklies to harder weeklies, of which, of course, give less and more XP respectively. The challenges that each player gets are entirely random, so you won't have everybody in the same game chasing that same challenge, but at the same time, the total amount of obtainable weekly challenge XP is the same for everyone, so it's not like you can just get lucky and get loads of really high XP yielding challenges, or get unlucky. Everyone gets the same amount of XP for all the challenges. Everyone gets 3 weekly challenge slots, which means that you can have 3 weeklies ongoing at the same time to progress at once, but if you buy the battle pass, you get a 4th slot. Now, the total obtainable XP is still the same for everyone, regardless of whether they buy the battle pass or not. It's just that if you buy the battle pass, then you can progress through more of your 20 challenges at once, as opposed to if you don't. When you complete all your weekly challenges, you get an ultimate challenge, Capstone, which becomes available and is the same for everyone, and then completing what they're calling in this flight the Capstone Challenge gives you a coating or an emblem. Now, they've given us a list of 20 random weekly challenges on top of the ones that are in the pic that you've seen on screen, and before I read these off, right, let me remind you, these are weekly challenges, okay? I'm going to read a few of them off now. Win 1 quick play match, kill 1 enemy Spartan attacking a friendly zone, kill 10 enemy Spartans, kill an enemy Wraith once, kill enemy Spartans with a battle rifle in PvP 15 times, kill an enemy Spartan with a rocket launcher in PvP once, capture 10 enemy flags in PvP, grapple 2 and hijack 3 vehicles in PvP, and kill enemy Spartans by sticking them with a plasma grenade or spike grenade in PvP 5 times. You get the message, but is it me, or are those challenges awfully easy and going to be awfully quick to complete given that they're weekly? Like, there are going to be 20 of these things to do in a week, and I swear, right, maybe I'm being a bit overzealous here, but I swear I could finish these in like 3 to 4 hours of playtime. They seem very easy and very quick to finish. And the same goes for the capstone challenge as well, which I thought was going to be much bigger of a challenge than the weeklies, but it doesn't really seem like it is. It's just kill 15 Spartans with headshots in PvP. Like, that's one game for me. Like, for a lot of people, that's one at a push, 2 or 3 games, right? Like, these seem way too easy, especially given that we've only got 20 a week to go through, and that once we finish them, the only way we're going to get XP for the Battle Pass is the daily challenges, which obviously won't offer as much XP. Seems a bit limiting to me. And then moving on to the daily challenges, they're meant to be the persistent XP drip for the Battle Pass, so it's meant to, by the sounds of it, kind of act in place of per match XP. So daily challenges start easy and get into high difficulty tiers as you progress. Initially, players have a large pool of play any match daily challenges that essentially act as a literal replacement for per match XP. Once all of the Stage 1 dailies are done, you then move on to Stage 2 dailies, which award more XP but require you play PvP matches specifically, unlike Stage 1s, where for the Stage 1 challenges you could play PvP or bot games. And then once you complete all of these Stage 2 daily challenges, you then get Stage 3s, which reward you specifically for winning multiplayer matches. And then they say that each day, challenges reset back to Stage 1, the dailies reset back to Stage 1, and that completing all the daily challenges possible should take, on average, 16 to 18 hours, which, of course, for like 99.999% of people, playing that much in one day is just impossible, so realistically, no one's ever going to run out of daily challenges at least, which is good, which means that we should at least have, like, some semblance of per-match XP, even if we don't have actual per-match XP. There's at least going to be something to give us XP, which I guess it works for now, I suppose. And then moving on to the challenge swap system, they only apply to weekly challenges, so you can't swap dailies, and you can only swap challenges within that specific difficulty tier. So, for example, let's say that you progress through your weeklies and you're on the harder weekly challenges. You can't swap a harder weekly to get an easier one. If you swap a harder weekly, you will just get another harder weekly challenge. Challenge swaps can be unlocked in the Battle Pass, in an Event Pass, they can be straight up purchased from the store, or unlocked as a part of brand promotions. And then they talked about the XP boosts, which give double XP for any challenge. Now, they're unlocked in the same ways as challenge swaps, so Battle Pass, Event Pass, the store, and brand promotions. They're right now set to last for 30 minutes each, but that could change. And of course, they start to tick down the second you activate them. So if you activate them in the lobby, and let's say it takes you a few minutes to find a game, well, there goes a few minutes of the XP boost that you potentially paid real-life money for and you had no way to use. I can't stress how bad this system is. It's what Modern Warfare and Warzone and Cold War do with their XP systems, their XP boosts, and it's awful. They should only tick down when you're in an environment, so a bot game or a regular game, where you can actually progress through a challenge and complete a challenge to make the most of the XP boost. They literally tick down in the lobby where you can't do anything with them, which is just... it's stupid. I mean, I don't really care, to be honest, because I probably won't use them much, but it should just tick down when you're in-game and in-game only. Moving on to customization, they said that with customization, they have this idea of the single reward vectors, which means that each unlockable customization item can only be unlocked from one source. So, for example, the Battle Pass. It means that if something is unlockable in the Battle Pass, you can't unlock it via other means like buying it from the store or whatever, which is great. The only thing, though, that will conflict with this idea is when an unlockable item is locked behind a brand promotion. At some point, obviously those things are limited, they have like limited time deals that expire after a certain time, or there's certain things, for example, that we in the UK can't get because they're limited to America or Australia. So when those brand promotions are over, the cosmetics that were a part of them will be added to the regular like unlock pool in some way, which is a good thing for brand promotions, I think, because I mean, I can't go out to GameStop, right? My closest GameStop is like 4,000 miles away across an ocean. I can't do that. So yeah, it's good to hear they're doing that. The only thing I will say is please don't add that SR152 coating to the regular unlock pool for people who grinded it. Don't do what you did with Heliosquill in Halo 5, because people grinded through all the Halo campaigns in MCC on Legendary to get that armor, and just adding it to rec packs was so lame. So please, and I say this as somebody who isn't 152 in Halo 5, will not be 152 in Halo 5 by the time Infinite comes out. Don't just let me unlock that coating by playing Infinite. That should be limited to Halo 5. They then revealed all of the ways that customization content can be unlocked in Halo Infinite. We have weekly ultimate rewards, which I think are those capstone challenges, seasonal battle pass rewards, both free and premium tracks, fracture events, so for example the Yoroi Samurai armor, special or seasonal events, which for example are like a special nameplate commemorating a real world event, or earning a unicorn nameplate during a 343 playdate, for example, partnership and promotional items, so for example Mega Construct codes or Rockstar energy drinks, skill ranks, so achieving a specific skill rank or tier for a season will award a unique cosmetic item, which I love, by the way. I'm really happy to see him finally doing this. You can unlock cosmetics via Xbox Game Pass Ultimate Perks. Don't know what that is, but okay. You can unlock cosmetics via in-game store purchases, and also by playing the Halo Infinite campaign. They say that some unique multiplayer cosmetics are rewarded for various accomplishments within the campaign, which is, again, after Halo 5, very good to hear. There are hundreds of unique items in store for Season 1, with more armor, coatings, accessories, and other surprises underway for Season 2 and beyond. And so, moving on to the last part of this article, we have the Academy. They released some more details about the whole Academy experience, starting off with the design pillars for the Academy. First of which is the give players ways to learn about maps and systems without the fear of being shot in the face pillar. So basically, let people prepare themselves for matchmaking and get practice without being destroyed by more advanced players. The second pillar is to provide tools to learn core mechanics and provide pathways to mastery through crafted fun, replayable, bite-sized experiences. Learning comes from repetition, and that learning and repetition needs to be fun and needs to compel players to learn more, and short burst experiences let players try things again and again to see how they improve in a certain area. And the third pillar is to give context for the multiplayer Spartan within the greater Halo canon. So how do we show everyone how cool Spartans are, and how in particular the player Spartan is important in the larger Halo universe as well as the Master Chief? They also want to kind of strengthen existing fans' love of their Spartans without interfering with gameplay. So the Academy was designed such that it gives players something to focus on their individual skills, so weapon drills. It gives players the tools to safely experiment with their learnings, so training mode, and then it gives them chances to work together as a team and scrimmage without the stress of a real game, which is Bot Arena. Academy also has a tutorial that's a unique linear mission where players are introduced to Commander Agrina and get to explore the grounds of the Avery J. Johnson Academy of Military Science, and no, I cannot say that sentence without smiling. I'm sorry, I just can't. In this linear mission, you have to complete a series of objectives that help acclimate players of all skill levels to Halo Infinite. Now, this tutorial should give players a greater sense of what it means to be a Spartan in the Halo universe. I do like how they're doing that. They are like kind of mixing a little bit of like genuine canon in with the Academy, and it doesn't feel forced, honestly. It does feel very natural. They then touched on the new training mode, which seems to be kind of fully customizable bot custom games, kind of. It's a sandbox where you can experiment with loadouts and a variety of bot and player options. So they say specifically, do you want to practice your sniper shots on Behemoth with unlimited ammo, zero risk of dying, and then swap to the shock rifle and add bot teammates without reloading the map or delving into custom games? You can do that with training mode, which sounds pretty cool. Then they said that more drills are coming post-launch that touch on other areas of the sandbox, like vehicles, for example. There's going to be more customization for bot behavior coming post-launch as well, with talk of more arcade-like gameplay experiences to reinforce core gameplay loops and map knowledge. At launch, Academy is single-player only, so there's no multiplayer stuff in there, I guess, besides bot arena, I assume. But they want to add some multiplayer stuff post-launch. I'll be honest, it's a bit lame that like I can't go to the range with a friend, or I can't invite friends to a training mode game and mess around with the bots in it, but they did say they wanted to add co-op post-launch, so hopefully that'll come at some point. And then finally, they also said that they want to add leaderboards for weapon drills post-launch, which is great because I saw a lot of people really grinding those drills, the sniper drills in particular, in the flight, so having actual like ranked leaderboards for those would be really, really, really cool. And so that does it for what I think is probably the biggest Inside Infinite article yet, with a lot of juicy details in there. Don't forget, please hit that subscribe button and not only help me on the way to 500,000 subs, which is so close now, it's insane, but also to keep up to date with the stream that I'm going to be doing tomorrow of the Infinite Flight preview stream and also the dev blog they release after that. I probably won't make a video about that dev blog, rather we'll just go through it on a stream, we'll read through it on a stream together and kind of process it live. Would be kind of a cool way to do it. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow for that stream, and then of course after that the 2 flights. I'm looking forward to them very, very much. I can't wait to play this game again. So yeah, I want to give a massive thank you to Fantom for becoming a new iconic one over on Patreon, and of course to everybody else who continues to support me over there as well. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. And thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I'll catch you tomorrow for the stream.